Okay, guys. So, sorry about that. I had to reverse the turn it sideways. That way it looks like a normal YouTube video. Uh, so it was, I think, almost 24 hours ago when the last video was uploaded of this Avenged Sevenfold album ranking. And I promised you guys it would only be one video, and unfortunately, because there was so much storage and documents and downloads on my phone, it kept the recording kept discontinuing. So I'm just gonna go straight into it with these top two albums because in the part one video, uh I already talked about the stage enough, I think. So, number two, I'm going to go with this one. There ain't a bad song on it. If I had to choose a least favorite, it would be I Won't See You Tonight Part 2. Yeah, not Part 1, Part 2. Because I don't care what everyone says. Part 1 is absolutely beautiful. And while this is the original cover art, by the way, that's the album Hell to the King and the song that you hear in the background. That right there is the original album cover. But I prefer this because it's kind of like a companion to sounding the seventh trumpet in a way. So, and I love the art in it. I love it. And the disc is simplistic, Hopeless Records before they got signed to Warner Records. It was Hopeless Records. But really, I think almost all their albums, Hopeless Records supports them. But yeah, that is the Fallen Being Wakened. And I love the booklet in here. The gray and white and black. And that is an amazing picture. Matte Shadows, Sinister Gates, Zeki, Vengeance, Johnny Christ, and the Rev, which I think that's the Rev. I mean, for whatever reason, it doesn't even look like the Rev. I don't know. But let's get down. My favorite songs are Chapter 4, a top 5 Avenged song. Maybe top 3, Chapter 4. Especially the final minute and a half, 2 minutes of it. Absolutely 10 out of 10. That guitar riff at the end. Reminiscence, Desecrate Through Reverence, Eternal Rest, Second Heartbeat, Radiance, Eclipse, Part 1 of I Won't See You Tonight, and Clairvoyant Disease. All those songs are 10 out of 10. Like, for real. Again, I didn't mention this because my other videos where I tried to say this got cut off. I could flip-flop either of these two albums. And the songs that I put as second best are All Things Will Pass. I think it's very good. And Unholy Confessions. And part 2 of I Won't See You Tonight. And the intro. There are no mediocre songs. Every song is a S or A on this album. Which leads me. Sorry, I'm jamming to Doing Time from Hail to the King. Hold on. Okay, sorry. I know a lot of y'all love Hail to the King and the song Doing Time, but I gotta pause it because I don't know how loud I am or if I'm even screaming or what. This leads me to number one, Nightmare, and I could do literally an entire video talking about every single song on this album, but because I am literally terrified that the video is going to cut off any second, I'm going to go straight into my favorite songs on this album, which is literally every single song except for Natural Born Killer. And while that title of song number 7, GHU, I'm not even going to say it. Yeah, that one right in the middle of my screen. While I do not like that title, uh, it is easily, just because of the instrumentation and the blend of the intro being and outro being beautiful, and the screaming being a lot like Wake in the Fallen, and the instrumentation of it. For that reason, it is hands down the number one most guilty pleasure of my entire life. That and enjoying The Wolf of Wall Street as a genuine good story and movie. Even though I do not recommend watching it if you are sensitive to 569 F words and drugs being glorified and money laundering being glorified and scams and whatnot. So my favorite songs are Nightmare, Welcome to the Family, Buried Alive, So Far Away, Victim, Tonight the World Dies, Fiction, and Save Us. With my absolute favorites being Buried Alive, So Far Away, Victim, Tonight the World Dies, Fiction, and Save Me. Literally, this song is 80% it's like 75% ballads and 25% just great instrumentation and progressive metal and a little bit of screaming, and it's literally every single thing that you could want from an Avenged Sevenfold album is in here, in my opinion. I love the dark blue tone. And this picture right here is very special because Sinister, Zachy, Matt Shadows, and Johnny Christ going from right to left. And then that empty seat right there is the Rev. That seat belongs to the Rev. It always will. Even though Mike Portnoy did the drums on every track on this album. And there they are, all 5 of them. I'm going to take a wild guess. I'm going to try and guess the band members here. Johnny Christ, Zachy, the Rev, Matt Shadows only because I'm gonna assume he had nearly bald hair around this period, and Zachy, but that could be Zachy and that could be Sinister, so I might have them. Actually, yeah, I think that's Sinister and that's Zachy Vengeance, and that's Matt Shadows. That's the Rev because he's at the head of the table, and that's Johnny Christ. But yeah, uh, this entire in Fiction, there he is, the Rev. Fiction is the final song I believe that the Rev wrote. And the end of it where he says, I hope it's worth it. Way on the highway, yeah. I hope you find your own way when I'm not with you. That is the Revs originally singing that on the demo version, I believe. But yes, beautiful album. Uh, my least favorite song, if I had to pick one, would be, like I said, Natural Born Killer and maybe Danger Line. Everything else is a 10 out of 10. Nightmare, again, the title track, the opening track, just like with the stage, and Beast and the Harlot, and Critical Acclaim, and, Turn the Other Way, just like those others. It's probably the best opener. I know I said that about Critical Acclaim, but honestly, those two are tied, along with Turn the Other Way, in my opinion. So yeah, that's my Avenged Sevenfold ranking. It took over almost over 24 hours and literally about 6 tries for me to get the freaking last 12 and a half, 13 minutes of this part of the entire ranking in. But yeah, uh, next time it will either be Elton John or Eminem. Yes, I am shifting gears once again because that is what I do. Anyway, y'all take care and have a good one. And please, please be kind to one another.